purchased this plastic gingerbread ornament from Dollar Tree. It was a clear plastic, and all I did was I spray painted it with a little bit of a brown gingerbready color spray paint. Mixed up a darker brown to go along the sides of our gingerbread man to give him kind of an antique-y kind of aged look. What I'll do is I'll just proceed to do the entire sides of the gingerbread first and then let that dry. I'm just grabbing some of that dark brown with a drier brush, and I'm lightly brushing that dark brown across the edges on the front of our gingerbread. I'm using just a real light sweeping type of motion just to be able to add that shade and not have it be a solid brown. The great thing about this is if it gets a little bit too dark, I can always go in with a damp paper towel and just lightly wipe away any of the spots that got a little bit too dark, or if it got a little bit too globby, I can just wipe that away. Here I'm taking a little bit of a damp paintbrush and a paper towel and just kind of wiping around some of the spots that I think were a little bit too dark and just fixing those up to get them to where I want them. And I'm just going to continue to go around the outside edges of our gingerbread person here so that I can get it exactly the way I want it with the darkness that I need it. And there's the front. So let's start on the back, and we are going to do the exact same thing on the back as we did with the front. I'm using a dry brush, just kind of cleaning off any little pieces of anything that might be on the back that is going to give it some texture that we don't want. And I'm just taking my brush and I'm just using a little bit of that brown and gliding over the top of it. And then I'm going to go onto the sides and do the exact same thing. I'm just going to go back and take off a little bit of that darker paint where it would be brighter and lighter because of the raised areas of the ornament, and then just kind of blend it out a little bit so it's not quite so dark. Let's begin to add those features. We're going to start with the eyes, and of course the eyes are the windows to the soul, so we need to give this little guy some major personality. I'm just starting out with some black paint and just putting on the shape of the eyes, the size and the shape that I would like them, kind of like an oval shape really. Well, I let those eyes dry a little bit. I'm going to grab a little bit of brown and I'm going to start painting in the nose. Now I'm going to add some shading just along the bottom to give it a little bit of form so that it's not a flat little oval. And then also we're going to add some of the highlight on the top with just a little bit of white, because that's going to give it its shape, and then it turns it into a form. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of red that I have actually watered down, and I'm taking my brush and I'm kind of blending it out for the cheeks. I don't want perfect circles for the cheeks, I just want the shading of the red. So it's watered down, and then I'm taking my relatively clean damp brush and kind of pushing that paint around a little bit just so that it's shaded. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue and a little bit of white, and we're going to add some iris color to the lower part of those ovals for the eyes. And then I'm going to grab just some white and add a dot of highlight into the eyes so that it has personality. And I'm going to take just a little more white and add a little bit more of a highlight just along the bottom where the blue iris, and just lighten that up just a little bit. Right here I'm grabbing some black and I'm just going over that mouth. There's a little raised area, and I'm using the raised area, but I'm also extending it and adding a little extra to the mouth. Next is his tie. I'm grabbing a bright red and I'm going to extend that tie so it looks like a full bow tie versus the little kind of V shapes on the sides. I'm making it into a full bow tie with the red. And as you can see, I'm just adding some little white stripes along his arms, along his legs. I'm doing 2 on each of his appendages. I'm kind of going along with the lines that are already there, but then creating my own as well. And then I'm going along and I'm adding some stripes and highlights and just some little things to the top and sides of his tie. Our little guy also needed buttons, so I added a white button and a red button with a hot glue gun. Last, we add a little bit of Mod Podge and sprinkle on some diamond dust and finish him off. The thing with the diamond dust is that it almost looks like sugar right on top of our gingerbread man cookie. And there you go, he's so cute! Perfect for your Christmas tree. For more ornaments just like this one and other projects, like and follow the Art on Creekside Facebook page.